Looks like I'm alive. Cool. Let's get moving. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, I never noticed. There's like a little haze over the town when it's got the fairy stuff on it. Okay. Do you know any good abilities? Not really. Okay. Hello! LERP. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you fine folks are having a wonderful day. My day is going just dandy. Had some ice cream. I enjoy ice cream. How goes the gadding about? Surprising nobody. Gadabout is not a particularly good class. Who would have thought? I did not know that, but it's not that surprising. Generally speaking, I know that feeding animals in the wild, like, isn't something you're usually, like, supposed to do. That's why, like, whenever you go to a pond, there's always signs that say, like, don't feed the ducks. So I would assume that the same general principle applies to, like, sea lions and seals. There's a Stardew Valley board game? Huh? I did not know that. Oh, finally, level up. Kaklang, the most used. Okay. Hold on. I need to. I've never understood the point of Kaklang. You become invulnerable, so you can't take damage, but you also can't do damage, so you just kind of sit there. This is one of those Dragon Quest spells that's in, like, every game, and I never understood the point of it in any of them. I also think that there is a... Oh, no, there isn't. All right. So, yeah, so normally, like, every spell usually has a purpose. You know, like, even if the purpose is just, to be haha funny. A new controller, hello. So, Ellie, yeah, like, that does make sense, and there are games that have abilities like that. Paper Mario, for example, both of the old Paper Mario games have that kind of ability. But in Paper Mario, oftentimes enemies will telegraph their big attacks, and it's very, very obvious when you should use that kind of thing. Versus in Dragon Quest, they don't give a crap. They'll just do big attacks whenever they feel like it. Dragon Quest is very random. There's often not a lot of, like, warning to certain things like that. So it's hard to. Ooh, wizard staff. Oh, we already have one of those. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that just never made sense to me. Actually, we can give this to someone. You already have a wizard staff. I guess I'll give one to you. Alright, and then... Bag. Bag. You're good. Okay. All right. Oh, the Switch 2 Direct. Man, the Switch 2 Direct. Man, I am so conflicted on so much stuff regarding the Switch 2. Cause like the Switch 2 looks like an awesome system in every way. The only problem is just that, like the price, which I know is like, it's expensive. And that was before the whole tariff thing started, as well. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, honestly, Nintendo is lucky the games look as good as they do, is really the thing. Because I'm going to say Donkey Kong and Mario Kart both look phenomenal. I'm really excited for both of those games, and I really want to Switch to play them. So they're really lucky that they have, you know, their typical like line. Because like think about it this way: imagine Ant-Man. Hello. Imagine if the Switch 2 Direct happened and their software lineup looks something more like the Wii U's software lineup, right? Where it's like, okay, you've got New Super Mario Brothers, Nintendo Land, stuff like that, as opposed to like the best looking Mario Kart of all time and among their best looking 3D platformers of all time. Like the most exciting Donkey Kong game that's been released in decades. Like it would be over pretty much for Nintendo. So they're very lucky that the games actually like they have that they've got the chops to like hold up. That sentence didn't make any sense. Like if the games didn't look as good as they did, I would be much more worried about what's going on. It also does look, yeah, no, they do look on par with PS5 graphics, which is crazy to me, too, considering that it's a portable system. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I think that I think the $80 Mario Kart thing was the thing that pushed people over the edge. You know, like, because honestly, the 450 base price was about what I expected, to be honest. I think that if they had just, like, not made Mario Kart $80 base and had made it $70 base, I think people would have been fine. I think it's funny. It's like, did they need that extra $10 per copy? No, they really didn't. It's also funny, too, because the bundle is such a good deal. Like, even normally, like, assume Mario Kart was a $70 game. You buy the bundle, it's $20 off the game. Buy the bundle, it's $30 off. So, like, and they probably intend for people to buy the bundle. So, it's like, okay. Like, they're already giving people a good deal on the bundle. Like, why do you need to make the game more expensive, you know? So, yeah. I think if they had just, you know, made the game $70 to start, they would have saved themselves a lot of grief. I also probably would have delayed the announcement video for a week, you know, because you know that these stupid tariffs are coming. So might as well, like, avoid some of it, you know? Either way, assuming that it's not too ridiculous, I am going to try to get a Switch 2. Just because Mario Kart and Donkey Kong look that good. I really want to try both of those games. And then having the Switch versions of like Metroid and Kirby and all of that. That's just icing on the cake. It doesn't help that my Switch is kind of worn down. I've played it so much, so I could use a fresh system anyway. I mean, hi Rico. I mean, it is greed. Like, I wouldn't fool yourself. It absolutely is greed because the 450 base price tag was before tariffs were involved. So it absolutely is Nintendo trying to squeeze every dollar they can out of people. This is like typical for them. Oh yeah, Legends Arceus will also, thank God. The game's probably going to run at like 10 frames per second on base Switch, if I had to guess. So, from what I've heard, when you buy a Switch 2 edition game of a Switch 1, what you're doing is you're buying a Switch 1 cartridge, and it comes with a download code in the box to get the upgrade pack for the Switch 2 version. So I would not buy 2 physical copies of a game you already own. I would just download unless if you really want that box, and more power to you, I suppose. But yeah, what I want to know is how much upgrade packs are going to cost. Cuz the thing you would assume is that, okay, if Prime 4 is $60 on Switch 1 and $70 on Switch 2, you would assume that an upgrade pack is $10. But this is Nintendo, and I'm expecting I'm gonna need to pay $20 to get the Switch 2 upgrades to Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Oh yeah, no, you shouldn't be attacking. It's there's no reason to. I think the thing about it is that there's no reason. Oh man, I hope that this is one of the games that gets a power boost when you upgrade to Switch 2, because that would be nice. The frame rate gets really choppy in this area in particular. On one hand, there is Nintendo is a major corporation. They don't really need white knights, but on the other hand, again, it's just a video game. We don't need to be arguing with each other about it, we can have a civil discussion. That's totally reasonable. But we don't need to attack each other or do death threats or whatever over video games. Oh yeah, no, for Kirby and the Forgotten Land, I'm actually really excited about about the thing that they announced for it. Because one of the things I've played through Kirby and the Forgotten Land at least 5 or 6 times all the way through, 100% all the way through. Love the game, but it's just a tiny bit too easy. So, and I mean, even for Kirby standards, it's just a tiny bit too easy for me. So it looks like the updated mode is effectively a hard mode equivalent to the Meta Nightmare Returns and whatnot. Actually, Shocking Slash that paralyzes an enemy. Ooh, okay. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to actually think for a second. They make Kirby games, yeah, so that's the thing. Kirby games are meant to be easy, which is fine, but I just appreciate when they go out of their way to I appreciate that they're making a harder mode for people who want the extra challenge, that because that was something that was in most of the other games, Meta Nightmare mode, DDD Tour, Guest Star mode. Those modes all added that little extra oomph of challenge if you didn't get enough out of the base game. Oh yeah, what did I think of Air Riders? I'm cautiously excited. for one, like, I feel like it's going to be, like, because Mario Kart looks really, really good. I think it's going to be hard for a different, I think it's going to be hard for a different, what am I trying to say? Sorry, I'm spacing out like nothing else today. I think it's going to be hard for a different racing game to kind of, like, shine, especially, you know, if it's coming out later this year. I feel like it's somewhat likely that Kirby Air Ride will get overshadowed by Mario Kart. Because let's say even if it comes out like Christmas time, Mario Kart's still going to be a huge Christmas game too. Because a lot of people aren't going to get their Switches until Christmas time. You know? There's also... Air Ride, unfortunately, has not aged as well as it should have. Like, don't get me wrong, City Trial's a lot of fun. And I don't want to imply that Air Ride's a bad game, because it's not. The problem is just kind of that the game is too simple for its own good. And so there's not really a lot of depth to the racing, unfortunately. So the standard racing mode kind of just is there. I've never really found it particularly memorable, or like the track design's not great. You know, it's just kind of like a video game. Not bad, but not great either. So I just kind of hope that they add a little bit more depth to the game. The other problem is, and this is, you know, me being a cynical asshole, I don't necessarily have faith that Sakurai will just inherently, like, that Sakurai being in charge will make the game better. Because Sakurai is very set in his ways in many aspects. So, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, he's the person who was all big about, like, Kirby, the original Kirby Air Ride, like, being one button for everything. And I'm also just like, especially after, like, I'm not a, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm excited, but I'm cautiously excited. I think the Sonic Adventure games would be really fun to have on, Switch Online, actually. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle multiplayer, legitimately very fun. Like, if we're talking, like, the GameCube has a lot of really good party games. I think SA2 is underrated in that aspect, where, like, I think that especially the Sonic race levels, where, you know, you're Sonic and Shadow and you're racing through the stages, I think those stages are really, really fun to play with friends. So I hope they bring those too, because assuming that the online connectivity is good enough, I would love to be able to play that with people. Hold on. Defense 104, 81, 81, 80. You have the highest defense out of the bunch, really? Okay. Max HP 85, 89, 99. Okay. Not to mention, we could then have the is SA2 a good game or a bad game discourse again. And everybody wants that, right? Everybody wants to have the is Sonic Adventure 2 a good game discourse? Everybody, right? Can you equip the Cloak of Evasion? You sure can. Okay, and now that you have the Cloak of Evasion, we'll swap you there. Okay. I want to go back. Oh, man. I also got to say, the starting lineup that they picked for the Switch Online, phenomenal. Seeing Chibi Robo, Path of Radiance, in the Pokemon Coliseum games on that list, I could feel my crops watering as they as they listed the games. Like, I had kind of resigned myself to never being able to play Chibi Robo. It's a game I've always wanted to try, and I just assumed, okay, I'm not paying $150 for a copy of Chibi Robo. I'm not paying $300 for a copy of Path of Radiance. I recently paid $100 for Pokemon XD because a friend of mine needed some money and was selling games, and so $100 is actually cheap for Pokemon XD. So I figured, yeah, I'll take that off your hands. Absolutely phenomenal list, and I mean, like, yes, they'll eventually put like Smash Brothers Melee and and Double Dash and the other big games on there eventually, but just the seller was somebody who I knew personally, so yeah, just the fact that because GameCube games in particular just got so inflated for the price, it's really nice to see that too. And the GameCube has a great selection as well. Mario Strikers 2, if the online for Switch 2 is any better than the online for Switch 1, Mario Strikers online is going to be so much fun. I mean, I guess you could technically play Mario Strikers, the Switch version, and I do like that game. It's just kind of shallow. But my nostalgia probably would make me want to play the original. I would anyway, so. Also, Mario Baseball. Mario Superstar Baseball online, Toy Field. Anybody want to do Toy Field? I love Toy Field. Toy Field's the best mode. Oh. Maybe I'll finally get all of the star modes for all of the characters in the story. I got really close one time, and then I got really close to unlocking star characters for everybody in Mario Superstar Baseball. And then my GameCube memory card died out. And so I lost all that progress. And if you've ever played Mario Superstar Baseball, the process of getting all of the star mode, star characters is ridiculous. Like, some of them are, extremely RNG reliant. Like, there's one where I think it's like Baby Mario has to catch a bobbled ball. So first off, that means that you have to have Baby Mario in the outfield. The opponent has to hit a fly ball to him, and then he has to catch it, but then you have to get the random chance that he won't catch it. It's ridiculous. Oh, man. Yeah, memory cards can crap out. I've had it happen to me more than once, unfortunately. I'm trying to remember. I lost some big stuff when my first memory card corruption happened. I definitely lost my Paper Mario saves and stuff like that. Like my Sonic Adventure 2 save, basically everything that I had was gone. Because it was like my big 256 block card or whatnot. Rogue Squadron 2 and 3? Oh, I know people love those games. The Star Wars rights might be a problem. Because I don't know what happened to the Star Wars video game rights. Do we go? This is one of the caves I don't know as well. This cave's technically optional. You don't need to come here. But you can, and I just like to get the treasure and the loot. Dude, Mario Baseball is the Nintendo game I want them to make. Is like the Mario sports game I want them to make the most. By a fair margin. I know that like the Mario Golf in particular, Mario Golf and Mario Strikers in particular were received pretty lukewarm. I know that people like generally liked Mario Tennis. It was pretty shallow at launch, but then it got, the updates helped a lot for that. Ooh, Steel Broadsword. Is that better? It sure is. Yep, we'll give you that. Can anybody else equip the Iron Lance? Nope, okay. So Eternal Darkness, Nintendo can just straight up do. Nintendo owns Eternal Darkness. Like, I mean, and I don't think there's anything that would be stopping Konami from doing Twin Snakes. Like, I can't think of any reason why they couldn't. You know, that would, but yeah, no, Eternal Darkness, that's another game I've always wanted to try, but just don't think that I just didn't think that I would ever have the chance to. I'm not really a horror game person. I'm a big wimpy baby. So, like, I don't know if I would love it. What's also funny, though, is that a lot of the... I know that, like, one of the gimmicks for Eternal Darkness was, like, as your sanity went down, the game would... ooh, Snoo Stick! That's actually extremely good. Hold on. We want you to have that. Okay, and then... Hold on a moment, guys. Incredibly important stuff going on here. Okay, there we go. So, like, as your sanity went down, not only would certain, certain, like, visual effects happen that, like, the screen would get fuzzy or whatnot, but, like, if your sanity got low enough, you'd get a blue screen of death, which is also very funny. Like, a modern audience, like, kids won't get that joke, which is actually kind of a funny thing, that, like, you know, today's kids probably wouldn't get that joke, you know, which makes me wonder, like, if you tried to do that same sort of thing in a modern day, like, I wonder how you would try to do it. Or the game acts like it deleted your save. Yeah, that's another one that, I didn't know that one about that, actually. Sonic Mega Collection, you know, that's such a weird thing, because I've never really been, like, too into the 2D Sonics. But I had Mega Collection, and I'm not gonna lie, the music for the menus in that game is really damn good. Like, I don't know what they did, like, how they got it to be that good. But the music in the menus, like, hits different, I gotta say. Because, like, I spent a lot of time just looking at, like, all the concept art and stuff in the Sonic Mega Collection. I mean, yes, it's Sonic music. Like, that's fair. And Sonic does generally have good music. But Sonic doesn't have that kind of music. Sonic is very high upbeat driving music, which makes sense considering, you know, the type of game it's supposed to be, you know. Whereas the Sonic Mega Collection music is, like, extremely relaxed and chill, and, like, just has this, like, kind of this vibe that's really hard to explain. It doesn't sound very much like Sonic music at all. I never played the Gems Collection. As a kid, I wanted it, but I eventually realized that it was just one game as opposed to a bunch of games, because it was, like, that was around the time I was starting to watch YouTube videos, and that's when I realized that, oh, most of the games in this collection are bad. Because it's like Sonic CD, which is, Sonic CD being in the Gems Collection was actually a big deal, because that was the first time the game was made playable off of the Sega CD, if I remember correctly. But, like, Sonic R is bad. And not only that, the Game Gear games, I had those already. They're in Sonic Adventure DX. Oh yeah, and Sonic the Fighters is also not a particularly good game. Oh, a poison needle drop. Damn. Okay. So it's like, that was around the time where I started, like, looking up video game reviews for the very first time, and then I was like, oh, this game's not actually good. I don't need it. There's a PC port of CD of Sonic CD. I did not know that. I learned something new today. But yeah, no, there's a ton of great games they could put on the GameCube. The GameCube collection. I'd be interested in trying Star Fox Assault. I'm not much of a Star Fox person either, but like I'm not much of a Star Fox person, but Assault always looked like the kind of game that I might enjoy. Like I'd be willing to give the extra modes a shot. It's actually funny because a lot of like my favorite games on the GameCube, they wouldn't need to re-release because they already have them on there. They already have other versions of them, like Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 1 and Thousand Year Door. They have re-releases of both of those. Like they have the Pikmin 1 and 2 pack, and then they have the Thousand Year Door remake. So if they can charge people for those games, I don't think that they're going to give them away for free. Let me think for a second. Do I have my GameCube games up here still? No, not really. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat? Oh, I do love Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, but I have no clue. Like, that's not the kind of game you can play. That's not the kind of game you can play with a normal controller. If they could get it to work, I think the Four Swords, that would be fun. Like, just so that it would be possible to play Four Swords, you know. What are some... Oh, Beautiful Joe? Oh, yeah, that's a game I've always wanted to try, too, but never really got the chance. Yeah, that would be awesome. The GameCube's a strange system, because, like, the GameCube doesn't have, like, a super deep library, but it does have a lot of really good hidden gems. At the very least, you could play Four Swords single player. The thing about it is, if you want to do the multiplayer, it needs the GBA thing. Which I don't know how you would make that work. Donkey Kong looks so good. DK Bonanza, that game looks phenomenal. I'm not really a Donkey Kong fan, but like the DKC games are like not particularly, I don't find them particularly compelling, the old ones. And I just never really got much out of the modern ones either. Like, they're good platformers, don't get me wrong, but they never, to me, had the extra, like, oomph to, like, elevate them to being, like, spectacular. I know that I'm not necessarily the majority opinion there. I know a lot of people, like, love, especially Tropical Freeze. I know that I'm not necessarily in the majority for that opinion. But DK Bonanza, it just... Well, for one, I feel like it has the personality that many of the other DK games, the other modern DK games were lacking. I really like the new design for Donkey Kong. I think the new design for Donkey Kong is phenomenal. We can't go into the... Oh, okay. I thought there was something hidden there. They could add Super Monkey Ball. I mean, I think that the Banana Mania... I really like the Banana Mania updates, and like I prefer them. But I also think that the Banana Mania, like, I also think that having the original version is also just good. Um, hello,
Hello.
hello. We were
Hello.
talking about games we would want on the GameCube thing, the GameCube Virtual Cancel.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, that's a thing, right?
yeah, it's a thing that's going to be there now. They announced
What
like
have they
some.
announced so far?
So at launch, it's Soul Calibur 2, F Zero GX, Zelda Wind Waker.
That's
How?
it?
Well, that's at launch. Well, that's at launch. But they announced that like in their rolling updates, there's going to be both Pokemon Coliseum games, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Chibi Robo, Mario Strikers. They announced a lot. But those are the big ones that I remember because they're the expensive ones.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
so it's like, damn, man. Nature is healing. You don't need to like sell a organ in order to play Chibi Robo anymore. I'm pumped.
Oh yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
I didn't even notice you. I wasn't paying attention to your party last time. So wait, who you got? Your
Oh,
warrior's leading the party.
my warrior
I
sure
love
is
my
leading the party, and I gave her Maya's haircut.
Yes.
Uh,
Show me. Okay. We
and
got Jenny. Gourmand.
wait,
Is that the boy or the girl version?
how did I give
Did
her
you do
Gourmand? Oh no, that's a girl hero.
Okay, the best hero.
And then I have cat girl.
Girl turn.
Yeah,
Wait, who is the cat girl?
that's Carly.
Wait, I thought what? Hold on. I haven't seen the Gadabout. I didn't realize there was a Gadabout. She literally has a cat tail.
There's a dog. There's a dog girl.
A dog girl?
Yeah, there
This
is
is
a dog.
obscene. This game catering to the furries. Good for them. Good for them.
Good for them. Good for them. Yeah. All right. So yeah. Fun fact: you do not need to do the fairy village. It is a waste of time. All they do
Yeah.
in the
What? Okay.
all they do in the
What?
fairy village is tell you to go to Isis.
Is that? Wait. Is that what? Yeah, I remember visiting it, and you go to the cave, and you find out they unalived.
Yes.
And it's like, damn, that's depressing.
It sure is.
I was like, oh shit. I feel like I knew at one point that was like a plot point, but I sure had forgotten. And then I was playing, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's one of the saddest quests in the game, and it's completely optional. You don't need to do it. But it's good experience, and we're playing on Draconian Quest with a guy. Oh, finally, Nose for Treasure. Okay.
Yeah.
Do I have Zoom yet? I do not. Okay, once I get Zoom, we'll do the backtrack. Make sure I didn't miss any items.
Correction. Get the items that you missed.
That's what I meant. Yeah. Oh, I don't have Snoop
You
though,
will
so they're not gonna. So like I can Nose for Treasure here, but I'm not gonna be able to find it because I don't have the one that makes them go all sparkly. So it's actually probably better that I wait anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, how is your day today?
So you didn't get the monster. You didn't start with the monster masher.
No, because the
You're
month
gonna get her later. I guess.
I'll probably reclass into it at some point.
Yeah.
But I wanted to try the other. I wanted to try all classes that I didn't use before. So
That's super fair, and I liked the thief. Like when I played, I did martial artist to start, and then I reclassed her into thief to get the thief abilities, and then I reclassed back to martial artist because I wanted like.
Yeah, you should have just started with thief to begin with in that instance.
Exactly. Yeah, but I didn't think, because even with Draconian Quest, the fact that you heal on level up just really smooths things out.
Yeah, like I have been mostly fine.
I was worried to start with thief, given what I knew about like DQ3.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, if I ever do another playthrough, I'm starting with. I'm probably honestly. I would probably not do warrior. I like on start like you are, but I would also probably start with like thief and gadabout. And I don't know what I would do for the
I
third
want
one,
to,
probably
next
Mage.
time I play, I want to do Mage, because Mage seems like it would be really good, or early game especially.
Oh, did you not do a Mage at all?
Nope.
In like your original playthrough either?
No, I did Monster Master, Hero, Martial Artist,
Priest?
Master, Priest, yes.
Priest, right?
Yeah, Priest.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mage is fine. The Mage saved my ass at one point because I nearly wiped, I think it was in the pyramid, but the Mage was the only one who survived, and at that point she had evac and zoom.
You
And
mean
I will
Zoom?
say, fuck you, I used evac and then
Wow.
zoom.
Okay, Boomer.
I will say, saved my ass that they don't cost MP in this version.
Oh yeah,
Holy
no,
shit.
they I forget when they started to make Zoom not cost MP. Cuz like I think in the Zenithia trilogy remakes they still cost MP. Maybe at DQ8 they didn't cost MP. Like the DQ8 and 7 3DS versions
Yeah.
maybe not costed MP.
What if we got the Zenithian trilogy on Switch too?
I would love that. I think it would be a little bit awkward, I think, to do DS games on it, but not impossible.
Oh, I'm picturing that they would have to do it like the iOS version, where it's like it's a normal interface. Or
But
like
I'm also
I mean the dream is we get a DQ HD 2D of the Zenithia trilogy.
Oh, you were just thinking like they just ported them normally. Okay, because my thought was they did like a DS service and then
No, and I mean that makes me so sad in terms of like how are we ever going to get SMT4 on anything else? Like, that is the biggest problem with the DS and 3DS games is like just in general it's so much easier for those games to become like lost media because it's so linked to how you play it.
I mean, you could do I'm reaching out of my ass here, fully admitting. But like the Switch does have a touch screen, and I believe the Switch 2 also still has a touch screen. So you could in theory like put it on there. And like they probably would be like, oh, if you turn the Switch sideways, you can play in the original aspect ratio. Like that would be like, I'm imagining them saying that in a Nintendo Direct voice right now.
Okay, but how do I blow into the mic to clear the
Switch 2
dust?
Switch 2 will have a mic.
Yeah, because they're gonna have voice chat. Let's fucking go.
Dude, man, aren't you so excited that in the year 2025 Nintendo finally decided that we can have just normal voice chat?
Do you think they'll use it to train AI? Is the question.
Oh. So here's the thing, I don't think Nintendo I think that Nintendo in general, like, say what you will about a lot of Nintendo things, like, because Nintendo is definitely, like, I'm going to say the word problematic in some ways. I don't think they would ever embrace AI because it goes against, like, a lot of what they, like, because for one thing, Nintendo gives a shit about how their product looks. Like, they want to know, they want to make good products is the thing. Like, you know, from the element of they don't want their hardware to like break to they want their games to be well received.
Explain the Joy-Con.
That is okay.
That's the wild thing about the Joy-Con is it was such a like I expect better from Nintendo.
Yeah, because that's the Joy-Con's the outlier.
That was what is wild about the Joy-Con.
Because like Nintendo, like you went from the GameCube being indestructible to the Joy-Con breaking at a stiff breeze. You know, it's apparently the at the Nintendo event thing they said the new Joy-Con is more durable, but we don't know what that really means.
That means they're not gonna say at their presentation where they're gassing up their new console, I think you're not going to talk shit about your last console, even if we all know it was a problem.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be like, yeah, we know that the Joy-Cons on the Switch were shitty, but we fixed it because we got tired of repairing them / sending out new ones because we couldn't repair them.
I will say I'm very happy that the Joy-Cons look bigger. The joysticks, I should say, look significantly bigger. Because that's one thing. The original Switch, like, as much as I love handheld gaming, it's not the most comfortable thing to hold. You know?
The Switch was such a strange medium of, like, it's too big to put in my purse, and certainly too big to put in my pocket, but as you said, it was kind of quite compressed for, if you weren't going to be able to put it in your pocket or purse, it's then quite compressed for, like, sit on your couch. Yeah. So I think it makes sense that they're kind of leading into, like, it's portable, but
you need like a case for it.
Yeah, that it's like it's portable, but, like, it's not as quick as, like, a DS or 3DS to, like, pull out on the bus.
So, Eduardo, I'm not a tech person, but, like, AI for computer programming or graphics rendering is not the same as generative AI that, like, ChatGPT uses. As far as I'm aware, they're not exactly the same thing.
Without knowing exactly what Eduardo is talking about, I'm not sure what that DLSS thing is.
Yeah, because like the AI
there's also a huge problem of, like, companies are just, because AI is trending, and I see this at my day job, because AI is trending, and, like, investors are still going gaga over something that we all know is just a fucking bubble. Companies are slapping AI on things that, like, we would not call AI. You would previously call it, like, machine learning algorithms.
Yeah, it's a buzzword.
Exactly.
And the other thing is that AI is a tool like many other tools, like a knife is not inherently a bad thing or a good thing. It is just a knife, The problem is specifically generative AI is training on things using material that it's not licensed to use and then spitting out plagiarism as a result.
There's a bunch of problems
and other stuff too, AI. But that's one of them.
There's a bunch of other, like, issues with generative AI. Like, part of it is the fact that so I think there's, like, 3 kind of buckets of problems. One is, like, the kind of capitalist world we live in, where it's like people are, a lot of companies are using Gen AI to then, like, cut anyone doing creative or writing work. So, like, that, they're laying off people who did, like, marketing stuff or graphic stuff, and just getting an AI to do it badly. The other problem, that is more of, like, a capitalist problem that, okay, like, say we did, say that wasn't an issue, say you didn't need to worry about, like, having a job. Well, then you have the plagiarism issue, that it's literally just reproducing, like, it's just spitting out stuff that it was trained on, and it's, like, plagiarizing. And then I think the third thing is, like, the ridiculous, like, amount of, like, the environmental impact this has.
Oh yeah, with, like, all the how it soaks up power. Yeah,
it uses power. It uses a lot of fresh water for cooling, because you have these huge data centers that need to be cooled, and that uses water, because even with a closed, like, cooling loop, you still end up losing some water. It's not like a perfect system. You can't
yeah, some of it will be evaporated, so it'll
exactly. And like, specifically the issue is with fresh water, because obviously, like, generally speaking, we're not just, like, destroying atoms of water, but you need fresh water to cool for these cooling systems, and if you're evaporating fresh water, you are losing fresh water, and fresh water is a limited resource.
Yeah. Okay, so this is something that so this is something that you might need to educate me a little bit. Like, it goes back into the water cycle, right? So it'll come back down as rain eventually. So, like, I assume, like, yes, we can't ever run out of fresh water.
We
Or
can, because think about what it's been a while since I took any environmental science, but isn't like 70% of the world's surface ocean?
yeah.
So say even if the rainwater fell evenly, 70% of that is no longer fresh water. It's salt water
But doesn't it
because it
then
fell in
get
the ocean.
evaporated again and then it could rain somewhere else?
Yes, but proportionally, then that rain is also going to be 70%. Like 70% of that is going to go into the ocean. So like loss of like freshwater access is actually a real problem, partly because of like farming practices. There's a lot of draining on aquifers, like overtaxing aquifers, and it also just is a lot of like issues with climate change. Like when you have big rain events, like like the hurricane remnants of Helene that just like flooded North Carolina. In theory, like that's fresh water. The problem is you don't like the ground cannot absorb and capture all that fresh water. Like that's why you get runoff and landslides.
I forgot how mean these monkeys were.
Oh, which ones were those?
The Donkey Kongs.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that, I guess that's just something that, like, I suppose like it's one of those things where we're disrupting the balance of how stuff works is probably more the important element of it, because like if we're taking fresh water out of the ecosystem it's supposed to be in, then that's the problem where we lose the balance of how much fresh versus salt water
Yes,
there's
we are
supposed to
taking
be.
fresh water out of worldwide. We are using more fresh water than the system can sustain.
Is there like been, do you know if there's been like any effort put into like desalinization? Is that
Desalination?
yeah,
Yes.
because it seems
Those
like that would
exist.
be
Those are
really helpful, you know.
those are used in some places. The problem is it's just really energy intensive.
Oh, so you're just back at the same problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
So
I,
there's two issues. Number one is that it's really energy intensive. And like they are used in some cases. The other problem is generally the way it works is like, okay, so you run this thing. One of the common methods is called reverse osmosis, which basically means you have salty water and you have a membrane, and you pull the salty water through the membrane, and the salt sticks on the membrane. This is a very big. This is a simplification. If anyone don't at me in the chat, I'm trying. I don't remember all the details either. But you have this membrane, and you get the salt out of the water. Now you have a bunch of salt. Or oftentimes what you have with these systems is like you've essentially extracted some fresh water, but now you have very salty water because you've just kind of concentrated the salt in it. What do you do with that? If you're thinking, oh, I dump it back in the ocean, that can actually be harmful for the wildlife
because
because
now there's more salt in the water than
now you've like really thrown off the balance of that ecosystem. So that's the other problem with like desalination plants. Is there there is a byproduct of that which is salt.
you know. So the frustrating thing about all this is that when I was growing up, the idea of, oh, in the future robots can do all of our jobs was like something I looked forward to, because it's like, cool, then nobody ever has to work ever again, and we can live in a utopia where everybody's free to like live out their life dreams or whatever. But it turns out that instead of that happening, what ends up happening is that nobody gets to eat because we still need to pay people, even if we live in a world where we don't need labor. So that just
a
makes
lot
me
of
sad.
labor is and a lot of like menial labor is still done by people who are just paid less. Like I don't know if you're familiar with the like Waymo car, the self-driving Ubers, essentially the Waymo cars.
I am not.
So that they're these. Thankfully, I don't think they're around here. That is something where I feel like if that came up in front of my city council, a million people would comment, being like, "No." So they're
I can't
basically
get a puff puff. This is bullshit.
Yeah, you're a girl. They don't give you a puff puff.
That's bullshit.
I know, I'm so mad.
Why?
And you don't have any boys in your party, right?
No, because boys are icky and gross.
Yeah. No, yeah, you can't get a puff puff if your entire party is female.
This is the most bullshit. You can get a puff puff in other DQ games where you play as you can get a puff puff in DQ4. I'm pretty sure, even if you're a girl.
No, you can't.
Wait, you can't?
No.
Oh, doesn't she say your boobs are small instead?
They just make fun of your tits.
Yeah. Wow.
There's a character in the hot springs in one of the towns who says something like, "Oh, basically says, oh, you have small boobs."
I mean, Sophia does have small boobs, to be fair. Like, she's not wrong.
It's fine. I support the itty bitty titty committee.
I mean...
Oh yeah, I was telling you about the self-driving cars. So picture you order an Uber, and then instead of some poor, independent contractor driving to you, a self-driving car drives to you, and you get in the car, and then it drives to wherever, and then drops you off.
All right.
So they're somewhat self-driving. But if they run into any issues, they're basically people who are in not quite a call center, but picture that they're not with the car, and they can connect to the car and see what's going on and fix it. So if the car is having is getting confused by something in the road or
Nathan, if you want to chat, I've got Discord open and you can be in the chat. Yeah.
So if the car is confused, someone basically remotes into the car and gets it out, is able to control it from there. So now you've basically just outsourced the Uber driving to someone who is and that job now can be given to someone in a lot of the AI stuff is actually driven by workers in Kenya. So now you're paying someone in Kenya probably a lot less than you have to pay an Uber driver in the US to do that job.
Yay!
There are some really funny things with the cars. They get really, if you put a traffic cone on their hood, they're programmed very strongly. If you see a traffic cone, don't go there. So if you put a traffic cone on the car's hood, it doesn't know what to do because it can't turn away from it. There's some great footage of that. It gets so confused.
All right, let's save because now I have to go. Where's its place? Where am I going? Yeah, the fucking pyramid town place thing.
Yes, I forgot what that town's called.
Oh, you can get silver platters here. Pointy hoods. Oh, I'm poor. I have no money for chicken nuggets. Hold on. Let's buy a crap ton of medical herbs. There we go. There. Now I'll probably never have to buy them ever again. There we go. So you still haven't watched anything on the Switch 2 Direct, right?
No, I honestly forgot, and I feel
you didn't even watch the Corby.
I feel well, isn't it just the same game?
No, they showed off the new mode, so it's there's a big crystal meteor that lands in the Forgotten Land, and the crystal changes the environment, and so now it makes new paths through the level, and it's effectively the hard mode of the game.
Cool.
Also, the game runs at 60 frames per second and at least 1440p, I think. I know this
really run at 60.
It looks pretty damn 60 frames per second to me. I mean, you also have to remember it's not.
Will it stay that way when the lighting is cool?
I hope so. I mean, the game is pretty damn old, all things considered, and The Switch 2, honestly, is fairly beefy for what it does. The only game that I heard people say, like, from all the preview stuff that I saw, the only game people said had performance issues at all was Donkey Kong. And that's because Donkey Kong has a fully destructible environment. Like, literally every piece of ground in that game can be broken, picked up, thrown, destroyed, or whatnot. So, like, when that makes a lot of
If you
particles...
destroy all the ground, what happens?
You're fucked.
The void takes over.
The void.
No. Hello, Nathan.
Hello.
Yeah, and so a lot of games are getting 120 frames. I don't think I need that many frames personally.
I don't think I'm smart enough to see that many frames. Like, I know there are people who are like, no, you can see the difference, and I'm like, I don't know that I can.
Okay, so I do have to admit. So, early December, I got a PS5, and playing Skyrim on that, and then jumping back to Skyrim on the Switch is night and day performance difference. I can't. I up until I got the PS5, playing games on the Switch looked totally fine to me. I was like a die-hard Switch stan. Like, I played Fortnite on the Switch with my friends. I played Skyrim. But then I swapped over to the PS5 to play and played Fortnite and Final Fantasy and stuff like that. And like, the frame difference is so intense.
I mean, that makes sense.
To the point where I feel like my brain is lagging.
But I imagine Skyrim runs at like 30 on the Switch.
I mean,
it do.
Maybe I'm not nice, but
I mean, Skyrim's also a game from like 2012. So like, the Switch should probably be able to run it better than it does, all things considered.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Switch does what it was designed to do.
Honestly, it's surprising that Nintendo is able... I don't know what they know about their hardware that other people don't. That they can make games that look like better than what the hardware really should be able to do.
Secrets that they don't share with game developers.
Yeah. But like, yeah, no, like Cyberpunk apparently looks pretty good on Switch. I'm surprised that they're doing the new the next Dark Souls-like game. Like, Switch exclusive is what it's supposed to be.
They probably paid for themselves for that.
I know.
It's probably going to be like SMT, where they it's Switch exclusive at launch and then it comes to other stuff.
Still, though, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, though, that they probably would have had to play, because like, typically the Dark Souls-y type of gamer does not go for the Nintendo console. Or not exclusive. Yeah, not exclusively Nintendo console, at the very least. Like, they might. Like, because typically speaking, your average Dark Souls gamer, I would say, is probably more likely to own multiple consoles than the average person. You know?
I think they're likely to own a PC.
They are. I mean, yes. Well, no, not necessarily. Dark Souls is really big on console, too.
Yeah.
Like, so, a lot of people, like, bought them on, like, PS3 and PS4. Mostly PS4, actually, because I believe only Demon's Souls was on PS3. It was like Demons 'S Souls, which is...
No, really?
I believe that's how it was spelt in the original...
I don't trust you. I gotta look that up in a second. Hold on, I'm getting some water.
Yeah. Dude, did you watch all of the Donkey Kong footage?
I have not watched all of the Donkey Kong footage yet.
Oh, dude, the game looks really, really good. I
am so happy. He looks so lively.
the more I look, like, I don't know what changed, because the design's mostly the same as the movie design. And I didn't love the design in the movie, but, you know, I think in the game, I don't know if it's, like, significantly different in any way or whatnot.
Oops, sorry.
But it's just clicking with me now.
I've looked at OG DK, Movie DK, and Bonanza DK. and like movie DK looks like he got squished inward and stretched upward compared to OG DK, and Bonanza DK looks like he got squart. It looks like he just got stretched wide. And I don't know what it is about that, but wide DK just looks so lively and so friend-shaped.
I think they also let him be more expressive, too. Because I don't remember them going as wild with the expressions in the movie, as they did in the game. Although, part of the problem with the movie is that it has too many characters to begin with. So they never take a second to, like, slow down and give anybody any real, like, interaction or development time. That was, like, my biggest issue with that movie. Because, like, there's one scene I can think of off the top of my head where it felt like the characters took a moment to just breathe and take a break, and that's when they're driving on the Rainbow Road after the big, like, scene where, like, they're making all the cars getting ready and stuff. Like, there's a scene where, like, Peach and Mario are just talking, and then DK and Toad walk in and, like, make fun of how they're flirting and whatnot. And, like, that's, like, my favorite scene in the whole movie, and I wish that there was more of just that. Like, just the characters being the characters. Because honestly, in stuff like that, like, I didn't even really... Like... Okay, I'm going to say something a little bit controversial. I didn't think Chris Pratt was that bad as Mario. He was, like... fine.
If it wasn't... I'll be honest. If it wasn't for the fact that I know it's Chris Pratt, that voice was such a generic voice, I could not...
I hate to inform you, Nathan, but Chris Pratt is the generic voice.
He is a generic voice.
He's
yes,
male voice number one in every video game with a custom voice.
Exactly. And if they hadn't had said it was Chris Pratt, I don't think it would have been. It would have got as much. If they could have just left him, like, had said, "Hey, and Mario," I really feel like it wouldn't have been as bad as like it would have been. But it's just he's generic white guy.
Yeah, like...
And that's really all Mario needed to be for the voice. Just generic white guy. We didn't need a name attached to it.
But the studio needs a name attached to it because they want... I mean, not that kids care what actors are there. Like, growing up, I didn't care that Robin Williams voiced the genie in Aladdin. I just liked the genie in Aladdin. You know? Versus, like... It's one of those things, like, I look at the Miyazaki movies and their English casts and how it's just like, okay, they got, like, 7 Oscar-winning people to phone in an animated voice for this thing. And it's just like, do kids, like... Kids are the ones that are supposed to be watching these movies, right? Like, they don't care that Anthony Hopkins is in this movie or whoever they get. You know? But I mean, I do understand that, like, especially with properties that started in the 80s, that there is an element of, oh, we want mom and dad to want to go to the movie too. You know, like, I understand that that's part of it.
So when we were kids, our parents just had to go because we weren't allowed to do that shit by ourselves when we were kids.
Yeah, basically.
But I think things are a little different nowadays. I don't know. For sure.
I mean, I don't think your average 8-year-old could afford to go to a movie without their parents anymore.
No, yeah, movies are real expensive now.
Yeah, if you want, like, because I consider getting the popcorn and the drink part of the movie experience. So if you want that, if you want the drink and the popcorn and the movie ticket, it's like $40, which is so much money. Oh, these guys. Really? These guys are assholes.
Crabs.
Why are they drooly?
They're always been drooly.
I feel like the idea, like, I forget what they're all called, but yeah, I don't know why th're drooly.
This is the Crabber Dabber Doo.
Yes. So stupid. I love it.
So their things have always been that they have high defense. But like in this version of the game, they're also resistant to most of the magic, as far as I can tell, too. Which it's just like I feel like you basically need. I think they might be weak to ice magic, but that basically just means that you need to have a mage on your team to take them out quickly, because
Yeah.
mages are the only ones who learn ice magic. Where's heal? Thank you. Who was your team again, Catherine? You did monster tamer, hero, martial artist, cleric.
Martial artist and mage.
Oh, you did
And
mage. You
then-
didn't do a healer.
No, I did not. And then I classed as soon as I got the words of wisdom, I upclassed the mage into a sage. But up until then, it was like I was just using like, the monster masher has some healing spells, which also
Right,
helped.
it does. It's got like I forget what it's called, but it's like a weak team heal too.
The
which
the
is
one where they lick you.
lewd.
What's it called? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Chat. I'm not being gross. It literally says like grooming. Something grooming. What's it called? You know what I'm talking about.
I don't actually, but okay.
Fuck you. What's the spell called? I'm gonna look up the spell list.
Good luck. There's no decent DQ wiki, so.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We gotta get on that. Who's gonna do that?
Do you know how hard it is to maintain a wiki? Like,
Yeah, I bet. Though I'm not being. I sound sarcastic, but I do know it's got to be a lot of work.
Man, I can't. Nathan, did you catch in the sizzle reel for the Switch too? And talking about the wiki just reminded me of just like internet community. So I swear it's not completely off topic.
It's emergency grooming.
Emergency grooming. Okay. Nathan, did you catch the Silk Song announcement in the?
Yes, and it hurts so bad because I've made peace with my inner demons. I as much as I love Hollow Knight, and
Hollow Knight's so good.
I have loved and adored Hollow Knight since I first got it in a now defunct subscription box service called Indie Box, where they used to just send you like a physical version of indie games with some trinkets and stuff every month. And I got Hollow Knight through that, and I have a grub plushie. I have absolutely adored Hollow Knight ever since then. And I've been let down by Team Cherry every single time that until I can physically play Silk Song, it does not exist.
A friend of mine at my local game store, has the King's brand as a tattoo on his arm.
Hardcore.
Yeah, no. Hollow Knight, Catherine, I think you would like Hollow Knight. It's pretty difficult, but I think it's the kind of game you would enjoy. Because it's a combination of cute and very dark. So, which I know is like one of your favorite things. But yeah, no, like I was replaying Hollow Knight a little bit not too long ago. Game still holds up. It is extremely well made.
It is so good.
Yeah, like just I like the only faults I can really find with Hollow Knight is that it's a little bit too long, but it's only too long if you like want to go for everything. And guess what? If I wanted to go for everything, turns out that means that I think the game's pretty damn good. You know, it's like that's one of the things that when people talk about Mario Odyssey, it's just like, oh, it takes so long to get all the moons. Well, if you're still collecting moons, then you're still playing, and if you're still playing, that must mean you're still having fun. So, looks like the game's still pretty good then, in that instance. That was the same kind of feeling I had with Hollow Knight. Like, I love that game.
I've been thinking lately, and I don't necessarily think this applies to Hollow Knight, but I do think and I don't think this is, like, to be clear, I don't think I'm the first person who said this. I don't think I'll be the last person who said this. I don't think this is a revelation. But I do feel like the fact that it is easier for games to make these massive open worlds, I think sometimes they go a little overboard, and it can be kind of to the detriment of the gameplay experience. But it also depends on like what do you want the gameplay experience to be? Like how important is it to you that like people roll credits, that people get to, you know, how much you care about that versus just giving someone a sandbox? And what is the purpose of giving someone a large sandbox? This is something I think about with like, because I never finished Elden Ring. I think.
Oh, Elden
and I
Ring's
think
coming to
part of
Switch 2 too.
Yeah, and it's like I think I saw that it's the they're doing like the extra stuff, which I never got because I never beat the base game.
I mean, they should. If they're releasing it that much after
yeah.
everything else, then they should.
I think
release
I
it with
felt
all the
like
extra
Elden
stuff.
Ring kind of suffered from like I legit got like I did not know where the plot was in Elden Ring at some point. I was like the last thing I was doing before I kind of stopped playing the game. I remember talking to a friend and I was like, yeah, I was at this thing. He was like, oh yeah, that's a side area. That's not anywhere near where you need to go next. And I'm like, oh.
I mean, you'd also never finished Zelda Totskis.
Yeah, I think maybe it's just like there's a degree to which, for me personally, open world games I can get like very into for a while, but then it's like if anything, like I can just run out of steam to play it.
Yeah.
Before I get.
If it makes you feel better, Hollow Knight's not an open world game in the sense of like a Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and it's more open world like the original Metroid. In that
I never played that.
Have you played any of the old Metroid games?
I haven't played any Metroid games.
Oh.
Have you played any of the like actual Metroidvania Castlevanias?
No.
Ah.
I'm a fake gamer girl.
Oh my gosh,
No,
you're the
not,
fakest
no, you're not.
gamer girl.
Oh my gosh.
Clearly.
It's not that. It's not
So
that big.
okay, so I guess the best way to to explain it then is that it's more structured in that like each area is a level, but you don't go through it left to right like a typical platformer level. You are kind of left to like futz about and find your own way around. So you're not at risk of like going into an area that is completely unrelated to story quest. Like if you want the quote unquote true ending of Hollow Knight, you basically will have to explore most areas. Or the game expects you to explore most areas. Pretty much. Like, because there's an early bad ending to Hollow Knight, and if you do that, then you can skip a lot of the map, but it's not a particularly satisfying ending, so I don't recommend going for it, really.
That makes sense.
I got it by accident, actually, the first time I played the game, because I didn't understand what I needed to do to get the good ending. Yeah, I would recommend it. The game goes on sale often enough that you could probably get it for like $5, and I would say definitely at that price it's worth it. Oh my god,
Does it
they
play
did.
well on Switch?
Yeah, it's I mean,
Oh, it plays really nice on Switch.
it's a 2D platformer. It runs. It's like the closest analog to graphics I can think of is like Rayman Origins.
Nice.
So like, yes, the game came out. It was like a Switch launch title.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so the game runs perfectly fine on Switch. Like if you want like mods or whatever, you'll want to play on PC. There's actually a randomizer mod for the game that actually looks like really funny.
Oh gosh.
Because somebody set up a randomizer where instead of finding items, you could find pieces of grass, and so every piece of grass that you can cut could also have a random drop in it.
Oh, that sounds nightmare-inducing.
It sure does. I don't know why anybody would ever choose to do that.
Every piece of destructible environment can have an that hurts. That hurts.
Yeah. So they set it to just be the grass. But then they did a different one that was all the lamps. Oh man. Okay, so what should my team be at this point? Okay.
Oh, you do Monster Arena?
Yeah, Monster Arena's... Dude, the Monster Arena stuff is OP. Let's see.
I feel like I did not do it at the time when it would have been optimal.
You
to
can
do it
usually do at least the first one as soon as you get to an area.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't even think I need a healer.
Is it okay?
But anyway, yeah, Hollow Knight's a good game. You should play it. I'm more just excited that I will have a version of the game that a Switch that's not as run down as mine is, because like I've played my Switch so much that like the thing that keeps the Joy-Cons clicked into place broke. And so sometimes randomly, if I like tilt it funny, my Joy-Con will snap off and it'll disconnect, which will.
And you wore down. This is your OLED, right?
This is my OLED. Yes, this is the second Switch I had.
I remember. I don't know if chat was around. I feel like this was when you weren't streaming, but chat, Ted's first Switch. Something was wrong with the fan, I think.
Yes.
Because it would just, you could hear it over, like, the webcam, like, his microphone, like, it was, like, so loud.
Yeah,
doing anything.
Yeah, it got to the point where I couldn't play games docked. This was, like, 2022, I think, because it was when SMT5 and Monkey Ball came out. Like, I just straight up could not play anything in docked mode. I had to play in handheld mode.
Wild.
Jeez, Ted.
Yeah. So, but I do really like my Switch. You have to, like, understand that I drastically...
You also don't game on, like, anything else.
No, I don't.
That sounds like a read, but I don't mean it like a read.
No, it's true, because, like, I don't particularly enjoy... Uh-oh, my dude's dead. I might lose. Uh-oh. Wait, did he just cheer on himself?
You know.
Oh, oopsie poopsie. Did I just lose the fight? I absolutely did not. What would ever make you think that?
And Ted, I'm right there with you. Up until November, I've been a diehard just only playing Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think I can't remember what the last game I played was that wasn't on my Switch. But I just also really busy and not playing a lot of games.
Goku.
I got that Katamari and I still haven't fucking played it. I've been so busy.
Goku, Bravely Default is a good game. That Switch 2 port is honestly embarrassing looking, though.
Yeah, what was that? What is that? They like so was that the original?
That's the original Bravely Default. But
Okay.
the port that they announced just looks really bad. Like, it honestly... It looks like it's being played on an emulator, and I mean that in a bad way. Like, when you play...
That's a read.
When you play, like, some N64 games, for example, on, like, Virtual Console or another emulator, it's like a lot of the techniques that worked on cartridge to make the game look cohesive don't really work anymore. And it felt that same way, because Bravely Default is beautiful on cartridge, like on your original 3DS. Like, the backgrounds and the models all blend together nicely, and it actually uses the 3D effect very well. When the Switch footage that they showed, everything looked like really janky and slapdash, and I don't like using the term lazy when referring to video game devs, but it looked like they didn't try to put that much effort into it.
The footage, it looked like the game looks lazy. That's not saying anything about the work ethics or habits of the devs, who are undoubtedly just doing what they're told.
Yeah, they were probably told we need this out by launch, and they were told to make the game yesterday. So you know,
2 people were told, "Yo, make this game work on Switch 2."
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think Bravely Second's the better game. I also hate that it's Bravely Second and then Bravely Default 2. I know that there's reasons.
Wait, which one's the sequel?
Bravely, so Bravely Second is supposedly is like a direct sequel, and Bravely Default 2 is supposedly like a different universe or like follows completely different characters or some shit like that, which doesn't make sense to me because Bravely Second ended on a cliffhanger, where they had like a lead up to what would happen in the next game. So like I don't even know what's up with that, but whatever. I still need to play Bravely Default 2. I have it, but I haven't played it yet.
Still somehow less.
It's typical Square Enix bullshit. They do this all the time with like Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, you know.
I was gonna say, still less confusing than Kingdom Hearts names.
Oh god. But anyway, yeah, like I'd say it's worth playing, but because like the soundtrack's really good and the battle system's really fun. I just like, if you're the kind of person who really like wants who enjoys like overworlds and dungeons in RPGs, I would, you know, not get your hopes up too much because the dungeons in Bravely Default are kind of bad. And the story is also mishandled in many ways. Like, it has a lot of interesting, promising bits and a lot of really awkward, cringe-inducing bits, too. Like, by cringe-inducing, I mean, there's a subplot where they effectively have a date rape allegory in it.
Whoa!
Yes, I know. Exactly. And the solution to like get into the bad guy's lair that they come up with is that one of the characters puts on, I think it's like the mighty bikini or like the ultra sexy bikini or something like that, in order to win the beauty contest to go and sneak into his lair or what thing. And this character in the original version of the game is 14 years old, and then got bumped up to like 18 in the later versions. It's like, I think, I'm trying to remember what it was. I think Agnes in the original is like 16 and Adia is 14, and I think in the Western versions it's 18 and 20. I think. I could be wrong. I know it's been a long time. Anyway, point being, it's a game that I don't regret playing, but it definitely like has rough bits, you know. So yeah, it's one of the video games of all time.
Oh, I just looked. Adia was 15 in Japan.
Oh, 15, okay.
Up to 18. Agnes was 17 in Japan, up to 20.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, they bumped up everybody 3 years.
15, not that makes it better. To be clear. 15, still a problem.
Yeah.
17, still a problem.
Yeah, because like the outfit that they have Agnes wears too is also pretty damn revealing as well. Like, and again, I'm not trying to be like a prude or nothing. Like, I enjoy sexy characters in video games. I don't particularly enjoy sexy children in video games. Is the difference here?
I'm glad to hear that.
I think we can all get behind that.
Oh, this is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite gags in the game, Nathan. So you pick up the meteorite bracer, right?
Yes.
And then, oh, what's this? Who dares disturb my slumber? Was it you? No. Oh, my mistake. Pardon the intrusion.
If you say yes, which I did, he was like, "Oh, well, thank you for being honest." All right, I'm going back to sleep.
He just doesn't attack you or anything?
No. He doesn't matter what you say. He's chill.
Yeah, no, the guy's a bro. Don't worry though. They definitely get the cursed Egyptian stereotypes. You get plenty of that once you get to the pyramid dungeon. Don't you worry.
Oh, yes. Don't worry. You're gonna get the golden claw, right, Ted?
Absolutely not.
Do it for the stream, coward.
No, because it's not entertaining content. It's.
It will be for me.
I mean,
Chat.
honestly, my party loadout actually is optimal for it because nothing. Well, my hero can use magic, but like, I'm not like reliant on magic for anything.
So what you're saying is you're gonna do it and get all the XP.
No, because I could get the XP playing the game and having fun. I don't. What's wrong with you?
Coward.
Oh man.
Absolute coward.
Yeah,
Chat,
do it
shame
for-
this man.
Do it for the content.
No, because I just told you guys it's bad content. I don't know.
It's the exact same content as the rest of the game.
No, because the rest of the game you don't go to. You go 10 seconds between encounters, not a second between encounters. Although, all things considered, the Golden Claw is actually much more reasonable to get in this version, because, like, normally in the original version of the game, it's like, up, battle. And in this version of the game, it's more like, battle. So, you get, like, probably half the amount of encounters as if you were doing any other version of the game. So, it's still a lot. But it's not, like, as obnoxious.
So you're saying it's better. So you're saying you should do it.
No. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? Oh, God. Man,
Wow.
I remember you were like, oh, I can't wait to go to the pyramid. And then you went to the pyramid and you were like, oh, wow, this place sucks. And I was like, yeah, I told you.
I did not complain that much about the pyramid.
I think I have the
one thing
receipts. Hold on. I could look it up on the Discord if I was feeling
you can't
petty
search
enough.
on Discord. It sucks.
No, you can. You can search. It's not a good search,
It
but
sucks,
you
though.
can do. You can do it. But I'm not feeling that petty yet. So you get off
Yeah,
easy this time.
I'll keep taunting you though about not cowarding out. I think I was like, what the fuck with the pyramid was being like me, like trying to like 4D chess, like, okay, I think this one is the chest with the mimic in it, so I'm gonna open this one, and it wasn't, and you were like, lol, they all have mimics or some shit.
It's most of them. Most of them
It's
have
like
mimics.
most of them, and there's like no clear tell for most of them.
You
that
use
there's
the tell is to use the spell that they give you to check whether or not.
Yeah,
they're
which
mimics.
I didn't have at that point, because I didn't.
I think
have
it's
it.
priest. Priest has it.
Yeah, I got it. No, I think I got it eventually with mage. It just didn't have it at that point. And then also like you kind of want to fight them all, and there's that.
I mean,
one
the
area where,
honestly, the experience isn't that good off of them. If I remember, I think they have more money than experience, and it's like,
oh
you're
my gosh, your chat just made like Eduardo and 10 Elements in the chat just made me realize that the city in DQ11 is called Gallopolis.
because of the
Because there's
horses.
a horse race.
I'm ashamed to admit I only just got that now too.
And horses gallop. Ah! Toriyama's too smart for me. Yuji Horii and Toriyama are too smart for me.
Where
And the
is this?
localizers.
Where is this item? There's supposed to be one item left in here, and
Did you check her bed?
No,
Okay,
it's
you can't
supposed
go
to be
look at
like
it.
in this specific part of the room, but I can't find it yet. Because if I do nose for treasure, oh wait, no. Oh no, it's counting the whole level. Never mind. Okay. Oh, it's probably up there. Okay. You see, this is why I usually wait for the thing, the
Yeah.
sparkly one.
Gallopolis.
Man,
Just Q whispering Gallopolis.
avocado.
Gallopolis. It's so good. It's so stupid.
I'm just thinking about Gallopolis and how that area actually has like one of my favorite side stories in the game.
Which one?
Like
Which
with the
one was
prince, you know, like how the prince actually like becomes not a shithead.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
like, and you know, like he is a lazy asshole, but it is also just a matter of he just didn't want to let his dad down, which is also kind of like, aw, that's relatable, kind of. Yeah. Wait, is there another thing? Oh, there was. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. I think we just got... Oh, yo! So one of the cool things about having the gadabout is you can actually use the gadabout equipment that you find lying around. And it's actually, they have
Yeah.
really good stats, too, is the other thing.
Oh, cool. I like the little,
So
like,
then for a
clown
little while, they
icon.
end up being, like, almost on par with the rest of the party.
Does she have a feather duster or something?
Yeah, I think she has, like, one of those comedy fans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, see, like, look. Yeah, that was, like, one of the Gadabout exclusive items that I bought at the shop.
I like the little clown face icon that she has in the menu for, like, her you know, how all the classes have, like, a little icon.
She just took out her mirror and started touching up her makeup.
Oh my gosh. Relatable.
Oh no! So I was just about to
Relatable
say
content.
that some of the goof-offs she can do are now at the point where they're helpful. Like there, she started juggling stones, and sometimes they land on enemies and do big damage. This time, though, it landed on her toe and hurt herself.
Wait, really?
Yes, it did. That's why she has.
Oh my God.
That's why
She's
she
bad
has.
at juggling.
She is not
Cool.
taking damage yet from the enemies. She has only hurt herself.
Girl. This clown foolery. I love it. Fantastic.
You see, I kind of want to do the male gadabout though, because they probably have different goof-offs. Like,
Oh.
I hate this. The griller pillars are the worst. I hate these guys.
Oh gosh, those are the ones with like the AoE. Is it fire breath or?
Yeah,
ice
they
breath?
they can double act and they have fire breath.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's fire because they're griller, not chill. The chiller pillar.
Chiller pillars are also annoying, and
Alright.
we don't like them either.
Yes.
But
Yeah, no. Enemy with breath attacks this early in the game was definitely a little rough.
so this was the point in the game where I noticed that the Draconian Quest difficulty definitely was kicking up, because the beginning of the game, even on Draconian Quest, was very easy for me. Like I never really had any problem. And then when I got to this point in the game, I started getting my ass handed to me. Because again, like you said, breath attacks this early on are very dangerous because like you can't find any of the equipment that resists it. And healing, like you don't have the effectively infinite healing that you get later on in the game either. So
Yes. Yeah, and yeah, I don't remember exactly when I switched from, because I started the game at normal, like Dragon Quest, and then I was like, oh, this is kind of like
that's what I did
easy.
too. I think
and
I
you
switched.
before I did.
I think I
but I
switched
also
like
could-
right around the time where I left Elihan.
I think I switched. Yeah, I can't remember exactly when I switched. I think it was a little later than you, but I think it was before the pyramid. But I'm not 100% sure. I
Yeah.
think I was in Draconian Quest by the time I did the pyramid. But yeah, because you switched to Draconian Quest and you were like, it's harder, but it's not that bad. And
Yeah.
that was like, then I was like, okay, yeah, then I'll switch.
Yeah, but the
So I was
mid game
just
and the
worried it would
late
be, like,
game especially get ramped up a lot for the Draconian Quest.
Mhm.
Oh, come on! I was right there. I think after the pyramid, I'm gonna call it a night. Or maybe like even partway through the pyramid, depending on how long it's taking me.
Yeah, pyramid's long, so I don't
Yeah, it's
blame
like
you.
it's like one of the first really, really big dungeons in the game, so we'll do that and then that. Oh, did you, when you went on the train ride the other day, did you end up playing any more DQ or Emio, or did you just play Balatro?
Oh, I haven't been traveling yet. I'm
Oh, I thought
traveling
that
later
you
this
had
week.
already gone on that train ride.
No, I'm going on a trip. I'm not taking the train though. I'm taking a bus.
Oh, I thought you said train.
Later
My
this
bad.
week.
Later this week.
No,
Okay.
you're good. You're good. Maybe I got on the train to go. Maybe I got on the MBTA, but not like, not a big trip. No, I'm leaving Thursday.
How far were you in Emio?
I forgot. I
damn.
forgot which chapter I was on. That game is just like, it's just like everything takes a bit longer than it should.
I agree. Yeah, unfortunately.
And I'm like, I'm so sad because I'm really enjoying the story, but it's like, I'll play, like, it was, because I was playing it a fair bit when I was doing that gig over, like, between Christmas and New Year's, because the gig was up in Salem, and I was taking the train there and back. So I was playing that on the train. It would be like, I would take the train ride, and it would be like, I would maybe get through in a half-hour train ride, like, the one conversation. And it's like, why? Because I want to, I want to read it. And, like, because I, like, understand a little bit of Japanese, like, it's cool to listen to the dialogue, too, and, like, kind of try and absorb that. I can't, like, fully understand it. So, but yeah, I'm just disappointed because it feels like it's just taking a little too long for me to, like, stay engaged in the story.
Yeah, no, I understand that for sure. The other thing that I thought was a little disappointing is that the ending, this isn't really a spoiler, the ending is kind of abrupt. Like, the ending sneaks up
After
on
all
you.
that.
The ending sneaks up on you. I think that they could have done with making it a little bit shorter. But I mean, it is a really well done story, and it's worth it just to see the epilogue that you get after you beat the game.
Yeah, and it's just like there's so many conversations where you're like, oh my gosh, we are just repeating the same stuff, and like it's in a way that I don't find interesting. Like a lot of what's his name, Fukuyama is the teacher.
Oh yeah, no.
Like,
who's like always
really
hitting
likes
on Ayumi, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're just going on for so long about him and Ayumi, and it's like, especially the conversations between Fukuyama and Protag. I'm just like, oh my god, like this is no longer interesting to me. This is not interesting to me. But you don't want to rush through it because it might, is this like, even if a book's boring, you don't skip pages in a book.
I'll start to skim. I will start to skim, like if I get bored with the book, but I'll be like, okay, wrap it up.
Yeah. But, oh my gosh, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I do want to finish it. I hope I can, like, because I'm taking the bus, so we'll see how much I can read on the bus. Play a video game, read on the bus.
I
can't do that in a car, really, but I'm fine on the train, so we'll see. Bus tends to be okay, I think. We'll see.
My plan is because I'm on my own, I'm replaying Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. But I'm almost done with that. Once I finish that, my plan is to start playing I only just learned that it's pronounced the Somnium Files, not AI the Somnium Files, which is weird to me. Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
In the direct they did last week, the preview direct, they announced a sequel to the Somnium Files, and then they were like, in this sequel to the Somnium Files, and I'm like, it's pronounced excuse me, because the character is in AI, like you have an AI assistant in the game, so it's like, huh? But I've heard that game's really good. It's done by the Zero Escape guy.
Ishikoshi.
Yeah. Who?
Hopefully it's good, because Zero Time Dilemma was not good.
Didn't Zero Time Dilemma have, like, some development problems, though?
Yeah, they had no fucking money. I think they had to like crowdfund the game or something. I don't think it was quite that they had to crowdfund the game, but it was a mess. They did not have money, but then they were also like, what if we made it cinematic and had like they were very. I think they said they were inspired by like The Walking Dead because that was really hot at the time. So it's a lot more like camera angles and stuff, and it's all like 90% of Zero Time Dilemma's cutscenes are like Dutch angles, and but the problem is they're like, what if we had this like very cinematic whatever, but then the character models have like two expressions.
Oof.
And like, can you imagine, like, The Walking Dead would not have been as compelling as it was if like the characters had like a very narrow range of facial expressions.
Oh no, guys, the treasure was a canna box.
Oh no, I bet that one's totally fine. Okay, I'm like, I'm watching stream, so it's lagged.
Are canna boxes susceptible to sleep? I don't think so.
I think you can, maybe. I feel like I put it to sleep once. It's probably resistant to it, but I feel like I did put it to sleep. I've definitely also used the thing that like lowers its attack.
I don't have any of those.
Yeah. It was the Monster Masher ability that I think I had that was that. Yeah. But you know.
Oh, 2 HP.
Uh-oh.
Ow. Oh god, and this is a butt fight we like literally cannot run away from. Shit. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna fucking die.
Well, don't do that.
Okay. Alright, buddy. I really need you to not... okay, good. Thank you. You actually did an attack this time. Oh, no. Well, that's bad.
Chuckles, I'm in danger. Y'all, I'm mad that my project, like, lead was like, let's have a meeting Monday at 9 a.m. to check in. Because guess who has to put together a slide on Sunday to summarize my work?
All right. Well, I think since somebody just got their ass kicked, I can't imagine who that would be. Oh, yeah, that's probably why, because I have 30 stat seeds that I haven't used. Okay, hold on. One thing I appreciate is that you can zoom to dungeons now. Like, that's so nice.
Yes.
We're gonna call it a night here. And do pyramid next time, because I feel like slacking. I mean, and by slacking, I mean stalling.
You mean checking your makeup and then juggling some rocks?
I do like juggling rocks. I had a feeling that this would be a difficulty spike, so,
yeah.
You know, I'm not too surprised that that happened. Damn, pyramid got hands. Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah, it turns out having... Yeah, look at all this stuff, jeez. Okay, who needs... you should take that. Oh, 5, nice. Okay, strength. No, I didn't. Not on you. That's the problem. I set the text speed up to maximum, which is great. Only problem being that now I accidentally mashed through stuff too quick.
Oh no.
Okay, agility.
Tragic the Gathering.
Tragic the Gathering. There we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna heal and call it a night. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, what was the moral of today's story? Oh yeah, the moral of today's story is I can't wait to pay $120 for Mario Kart. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Sad boy hours.
Very sad boy hours.
L.
It's okay. It probably will only realistically be like $90 for Mario Kart because you see, it's also okay because you see the whole idea is that like they want these tariffs so that stuff is produced in the United States, right? So all of these factories that definitely exist for Switch games can start just making Switch games out of thin air.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah,
Yes. Exactly.
that'll definitely happen, 100%.
Nintendo will move to the entire operation to the U.S.
All right. Okay. Night, everybody.